everyone, welcome back to another PNSO review. Today we're going to take a look at this master of a figure, Chongzuo, the Sinopliosaurus. PNSO, what are you doing? What are you doing? So before we dive into this, controversial figure, the basics first. This figure is available on their AliExpress and Amazon store. It retails, I think, for around $42. Sorry if I didn't get the price right because this figure just kind of irritates me. End up ordering mine from Amazon. I'll leave the link down below in the description if you want to order this mystery dinosaur for yourself. So getting back to this figure, what even the hell is this? When this was first announced, I was on vacation in Denver and I did a 10 brewery night and I woke up all hungover in the morning and this figure was revealed and I honestly thought I was dreaming. Never heard of this species, did a quick, Google search and I'm like, it's a pliosaur. Okay, that's weird. And then I kind of forgot about it until I got back and I just read, everyone's take on this really weird selection of a species. So I'm going to do my best to clarify the situation. So, Sinopliosaurus fusuiensis is a type of pliosaur, a marine reptile that was discovered in 1944. In 1975, the teeth of Sinopliosaurus, I'm probably going to get this wrong, is a fusuiensis, were discovered, and that was classified as a spinosaur. 1986, Siamosaurus was also named. That's another spinosaur from China that is known from teeth. And in 2008, Sinopliosaurus fusuiensis was considered closely allied to Siamosaurus. So technically, I guess this figure is Siamosaurus. It's just a spinosaur that's based on some fragmented teeth. And I guess PNSO really, really wanted to do a China spinosaur, so they went with this. And yeah, it's just a really weird release. The model is beautiful, but to me it's just a generic spinosaur because it's just these animals are only known from teeth. If they really wanted to do some more Chinese dinosaurs, they should have done Chongzuo. I would absolutely love a 135 scale version of that figure. That is just an absolute massive giant big honker hadrosaur. They could have done Lofungosaurus. There's plenty more they could pick from than this that they gave us right here. So yeah, really odd choice from PNSO. So rant over. For the sake of the rest of this review, we're just going to call it Siamosaurus. So let's look at the package really quick. It's number 66 in the Prehistoric Animal Models line. Here is our nondescript Spinosaur pictured on the front, and here it is, the top of the box right here. And may I add that, Sinopliosaurus and Siamosaurus are just based off teeth, so this is just like I said, a generic looking Spinosaur. You do get a nice little pamphlet with a nice little poster, and I think this is a first for PNSO. It's just a picture of the model. It's no original artwork, and I honestly, I can care less about these posters because they come folded, and I have really no use to frame folded posters like this. And you do get a little pamphlet, and let's see what this little pamphlet has to say about this model. Let's see what words of wisdom PNSO has for us. Let's go right here. I enjoy being a obscure dinosaur. I am Chongzuo, the Sinopliosaurus, a dinosaur unfamiliar to most. No shit. To understand us, the extinct dinosaurs, people have to rely on our fossils buried here. Sadly, only 5 teeth belonging to us have been found. Based on a few scattered teeth, it is almost impossible to classify us. Also, no shit. Understand our body shape and infer our appearance, so most people see us as a blurry shadow. Just freaking call it a Siamosaurus. So yeah, enough about the packaging. Let's throw this thing up on the turntable and jump into this review. And let's start with a nice 360-degree view of this random dinosaur figure. I really like the figure overall. I think it's beautifully painted and sculpted, but just the whole mess PNSO, caused with this figure by calling it Sinopliosaurus kind of puts a bad taste in my mouth because, really, what am I going to call this thing? It's based off, a Siamosaurus, which is just based off teeth. We really don't know what it looks like. I just wish they went for something a little bit more well-known. Like this dude Suchomimus. We're all waiting for a really good Suchomimus figure. There's really not many out there. I think that just would have been a better choice. But I love the color scheme on it. Love the painting. It has this nice, rusty red and brown for the main body coloration. You have all these nice dark markings all the way down the body. And I have to say, lately with PNSO, their figures are looking more and more like the promotional images. I actually think they're using like production samples now for their promotional picks, which is great. That's something Reborn does, so you know exactly what you're going to get in hand. You're not going to be surprised when you open the box up. This looks exactly like the photo on the box. Can't say that for a lot of PNSO figures, but yeah, it's a nicely sculpted figure. It's just this whole situation just really irks me, and my brain's like shutting off from it. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I don't see this being PNSO's like best selling figure. You know, they wanted to appeal to the Chinese market with this. I mean, that's pretty much everyone's guess on this, and I hope it works out. But come on, there's plenty of other Chinese dinosaurs you could have done, and yeah, and the tail's so big and wavy on here, it just messes with my camera and makes it want to twitch all over the place. So yeah, let's take this thing off the turntable and do some measurements on it. And now for some quick measurements. This figure, if you measure along the curve of the tail, is about 11 3/4 inches long, or about 29.8 centimeters, and about 3 inches tall to the top of the hips, or 7.6 centimeters. So according to the pamphlet included with this figure, PNSO estimates this species to be between 8 to 11 meters long, or 26.2 to 36 feet long. So with those measurements, that put this figure somewhere between the 126 to the 136 scale range. And now let's take a look at some of the finer details on this figure. You know, this is going to be a tough review because it's based off, you know, a species that is just known from teeth. So there's really not much you can pick out. You know, it is a nice, you know, generic looking Spinosaur. It fits, you know, it looks what like a Spinosaur would look like. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty short discussion looking at this figure. You can see it has the long typical Spinosaur snout. The nostrils are sculpted up here. The eye is painted in black. You do have a little bit of a head crest. The teeth are all nicely sculpted, very small, and they are actually painted pretty neatly. The jaw is articulated. So, you know, a lot of people complain about the lower and upper jaw connective tissue right here. You know, it kind of breaks the skull. But you can see what they did here. They kind of sculpted it to blend in with this part right here. It does break up the jaw like that. I wish it was just one sculpted piece, but because it's probably so thin and narrow up here, probably really tough for all this material to tuck in behind the eye. So it is a compromise. Does it look great? Not really, but I understand why they did it. At the front of the jaw, you do have these very, very large teeth for catching fish. There's the little fish knot right here. Here is a view of the head from the top. Very, very narrow looking. And let's take a look at it from the front. And then going down to the neck, you have some really nice fine scale detail. I absolutely love the coloration on here. I think this ranks up there, one of the best painted figures from PNSO this year. You do have this rusty red coloration and light brown all mixed all over the body. You can see the ear canal sculpted right here. You have like rows of large osteoderms sculpted down the neck and along the side of the body with this nice black coloration and some spikes along the back that go all the way down to the very, very tip of the tail. Let's take a look at the top of the body. You can see more of the coloration. Very, like I said, very nicely painted figure. Great painted PNSO figures. It's too bad, like what the hell is this thing? Going down to the arms, nice and powerful looking. You do have the large claws the Spinosaurs are known for are sculpted in nicely. Even on the belly, some nice belly scales, a little bit of pink mixed in. PNSO always mixes a tiny bit of pink on the underside of their figures. Nice powerful looking thighs. The feet are also nicely sculpted. Been really cool. You know, if this was like known from the animal, it actually was known from like actual skeleton material, so you can compare the sculpt. Going down to the tail, you do have a nice broad flat tail, which could be used for swimming. It's all nicely textured with all of that beautiful patterning. And then right here, we do have our dinosaur butthole check. Blah, blah, blah. But yeah, you know, like I said, really nicely sculpted figure. I do quite like it, but you know, it's just, you know, this animal's just not known for anything other than just a couple of teeth. So yeah, it's just gonna be a generic Spinosaur in your collection. Moving on with comparisons. First up here is Collecta's 1/40 scale human. And next up, here it is with Mattel's take on Siamosaurus. Yeah, you can see theirs is just really weird and stylized. It almost looks like the ARC version of Spinosaurus. But yeah, Still really perplexing why they went with Sinopliosaurus. Just call it a Siamosaurus, and yeah, it's cool to get like a really obscure species like that, but there's just so little skeletal material that we have no clue what it actually looked like. Like this, like I said, this is just a generic Spinosaur in my eyes. And next up here is Safaris, Baryonyx, and here also is Safaris. Suchomimus, and let's do Spinosaurus. Here is PNSOs, Spinosaurus. And let's do one more Spinosaurus. Here is GR Toys version. And let's do a few PNSO Asian dinosaurs. Here it is with their Ling Wu Long. And next up, here it is with their Tarbosaurus, and next is their awesome looking but way overpriced Centausaurus, and lastly here it is with their Menchisaurus. And let's finish this off with a couple wreck figures. Here is PNSO's Wilson, which was the gold standard for T-Rex figures, well, in my opinion, until Rebor came out with this beauty. Here it is with Kiss. So final thoughts on this figure. Yeah, it's definitely controversial. It's a Spinosaur based on very, very fragmented remains, like I said, just based on a couple of teeth. So yeah, it's just a really odd move by PNSO. I think the model itself is absolutely gorgeous. It's one of their best painted figures. It actually looks like the promotional images. Seems like PNSO may have heard us complaining that those promotional images don't look like the products, and I think they're actually using production samples now for their promotional stuff. So yeah, it's a good figure. Do I recommend it? I mean, if you want a Spinosaur for your collection, go ahead and knock yourself out. I'm still on the fence about getting this. Like, I like it, and then I could kind of care less that I do have it, because it's just, a generic looking Spinosaur in my eyes. Until more material of Siamosaurus is found, maybe it'll look close to this, but I highly, highly doubt it. So, this figure is just basically a very big reach, educated guess. And I have one more critique about this figure. I didn't bring it up during the main part of the review. You notice the whole time I had this thing displayed, I had the acrylic stand that it comes with underneath to support it. My figure cannot stand on 2 feet by itself, which is okay. PNSO figures, after a while, these bipedal ones, they have a tendency to lean and fall over. But I'm just saying, right out the box, my figure can't stand on its own, so I have to use the included stand. Other than that, I got this figure from their Amazon store. You can also order it from their AliExpress store. I'll leave links to both of those down below in the description. It retails for just over $42. So that will do it for the review. I have a couple new things that I got in that I'll be reviewing in the next week or so. So stay tuned for those reviews. And as always, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously and is greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys for the next one.